First Alert Weather on NBC 10 Boston. Boston's most accurate forecast.
All right, temperatures are still pretty chilly, but note the Arctic cold, shall we? I mean, it could always be worse. We know that. It's 21 below right now in Saskatoon and 6 in International Falls. So there's a disconnect. The storm has not tapped into it yet, but it will, and eventually brings it into New England in modified form. We're not going to be below zero in southern New England. Maybe northern New England, some cold nights we might. So we're going to get into that chill over the weekend and early next week. We had the snow showers. They've been more nuisance-type snow showers than anything, flakes flying, that kind of thing. We even had them up through the seacoast earlier this evening. That's all from this plume coming from Lake Ontario. It scatters about, and you can see it across the Green Mountains, too. These streaks just running through the White Mountains. When the air is really unstable, like we have a lot of cold air upstairs, we can get these. And today, it was coating the ground in places like Oxford. So besides that beautiful stone wall, it looked beautiful in the landscape. Now, tomorrow, there'll be some clouds left over, too. We'll see these just from time to time throughout the morning and early afternoon. And then we miss this storm system. It's a tiny one. It starts off small, but it's a little primer for the folks to our south in New York City, down to Philadelphia, down into D.C. Look out. You got a bigger storm coming on Monday that we sit on the sidelines and watch. This will be just enough to kick the winds up again going into the weekend. And then again on Monday night, well, Monday seems like a lull, but Monday night, Tuesday, we see a new surge of winds because of that storm in the mid-Atlantic. Now, gusts are still up to 30 miles an hour at times, but if we look at the wind gust forecast for the next 4 days, 30 to 35 tomorrow, 35 to 40 on both Saturday and Sunday, and then the drop-off on Monday, letting that storm go by to the south. It settles the wind a little bit. And then a new surge on Tuesday and Wednesday. You're going to hate that wind forecast. I promise you, this is going to be annoying. Today it was a little annoying, and then it gets monotonous next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wind chills in the teens and then 20s, rising into the 20s into the afternoon thanks to the temperature climbing back up. Thankfully, we're not seeing the deep freeze until we get to the weekend. 19 is your wind chill on Saturday, 6 above in Worcester, and we stay in the teens on Saturday as we get into that numbing cold, more numbing cold. But, you know, the air temperature isn't all that bad, says the weather person in a warm studio. 34, and Sunday 33, less wind in the afternoon and evening. You can see the temperatures barely budge over the next few days, and it looks like we might have a streak that could last a few days of sub-freezing in January. When was the last time that happened, you asked? Oh, last year. 2024, we had 6 days. 2019, 8 days. This is just recently. These aren't records. I'm just kind of setting the table for how extreme it has been in like 2014. We had 15 straight days of 32 or below in Boston. That's a long stretch. Safety on the ice, folks. Be aware, even though it may skim over in the next couple of days, it's not safe until you get to 4 or 5 inches, and then maybe for an SUV, or I'm sorry, ATV, 6 inches. SUV, we always went by the foot rule. It has to be a foot thick in Vermont before we venture out in the truck. But those are long gone in some parts of New England. Windy days Tuesday and Wednesday. You can see how long this dry stretch lasts into next weekend. We're back after the break.